What's good? Welcome back for another episode. Yeah. Today we're gonna talk about risk in itself. I'm probably gonna end up on a rant about margin as well. But the last video, the topic was about money management and risk with risk to reward. Today I want to talk about risk in itself in general, because over the last couple of weeks, myself, a couple of my friends, a couple of my business partners have been getting the same statement, that a lot of things is risky. Like sales is risky, network marketing is risky, Forex is risky, stock options is risky, everything is risky. We get it, right? But the truth is, risk is subjective, right? So the way I look at risk, the next person isn't going to look at risk in the same way. And I think that's a big topic, because there are so many opportunities, so many things people can do, but everyone has a different tolerance of risk. And it's so easy for us to imply our own tolerance onto someone else, with our ideas and goals and intentions. So just want to talk about that for a little bit. So at the end of the day, there's no way to distinguish how risky one thing is when it's subjective, just like beauty is subjective, right? So like with let's do financial instruments, for example. You have stocks, you have stock options, and you have Forex, commodities, and all those, etc., right? The quality and the level of risk that they all have, there's no way to distinguish how risky one is. And the reason for that is, in my mind, is that we all grow up hearing about one particular or multiple ways of investment, and because we're familiar with that way, it's less risky, right? Because you have the history of someone talking about it behind it, so you're more familiar with it, so it's a lot less riskier than something new. So at the end, I keep saying at the end of the day, it ain't at the end of the day yet, but I want to say it. But with these applications and ideas, there are ways to manage and control the risk that we put into it. It's really no different than money management. It really isn't. But you have to change that mindset, the way you look at risk. I think it was let's see. I think it was, who was it? I think it was Will Smith quote. He said, "On the other side of fear is greatness." Right. So look at risk as the same way. On the other side of risk is a greater reward, but you have to take that risk to see that reward. If that makes sense, if that helps you kind of change the way you look at it. Is it risky starting your own business? Yes. Is it risky learning how to swim for your first time? Yes. Is it risky learning how to ride a bike? Yes. Is it risky learning how to drive? Yes. You see what I'm saying? So everything has a risk to it, but it's all in our mind how risky something is. So back to financial instruments real quick though. To manage and to control that risk, you have, I think there are 3 controls in place automatically. The first one is you having enough capital that you're willing to lose if you take this risk and it fails. That's the first control. So trading or investing with money you're willing to lose, not your school money, not your rent money, not your car money, none of that. So having capital available that you're willing to lose that won't affect you, right? So that's the first control. Second control is having a rule or plan in place to manage how you use those funds to control the implied risk going forward, right? And the third way that's built in all financial platforms, I don't think a lot of people pay attention to it, is margin, right? So with stocks, options, forex, they all brokers have in place a margin rule, a margin requirement. This is important because it protects you and it protects the brokers. Really, it does. But I think a lot of us see margin. I know me, when I first heard of margin, I was afraid of it because I didn't understand it. I thought margin meant, well, if I take a loss, then I'm going to lose everything. I still don't understand it fully, but what I noticed by using margin, trading Forex, I trade Forex on margin. That's what allows me to have leverage, right? Margin is there to protect you, and it's to protect the broker. Look at it like this: the broker has margin rules in place because they're a business. They can only they're only allowed to lose so much per client, per capital that a client may choose to put in the broker account, right? So it doesn't help them to lose all their money that they're giving you, allowing you to use to make trades and investments on a margin account, right? Number two, it doesn't benefit them either if a client comes to put their money into their brokerage, right? And they lose everything. If they take a wrong trade, a bad trade, or multiple bad trades, right? If you lose everything, it doesn't help them either because the chances of you returning is zero. You probably won't return. And so to keep their clients, they have these margin rules, and to keep their clients, they have these margin rules in place. And it's usually a percentage of your deposited amount, and the margin is really just a it's like your bank account. You have to keep your bank account open, you got to have a certain amount of money deposited into that account. That's what margin is for brokerage, for your brokers. It's just keeping that amount of capital in that account so you can take certain amount of trades and certain amount of investments. That's all margin really is. I hope that makes sense. I hope that help y'all understand margin and my little rant on risk. Risk. Another way to look at risk too, though, is simply having in life, right? So as we grow up and we start working and things, right? I don't know about y'all, but I was always told to have that safety net, that safety cushion. I always put money to the side for emergencies. That's what my margin is. That's why, growing up, when I was active duty, I was able to have fund money to save, money to do whatever else with. So that's what that is, right? That's that margin, that safety net for you and for everybody else. But yeah, risk is still subjective. No matter how you look at risk, someone else will look at it completely different. But be easy. Do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, share, drop comments, thumbs up, thumbs down. I'll see y'all on the other side.